everyone, welcome to the Strip Down to Love podcast video where the essence of love comes from within. I am your host, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining me here and listening to the Strip Down to Love podcast video and being here with me in this very moment. I appreciate it so much. Today on the Strip Down to Love podcast video, we define divine discernment, also known as intuition. Today, we discuss what intuition is, what it is made out of, healthy and unhealthy ways to access and to use your intuition, how to harness that inner power, and how you can amplify it. Alright, so let's get started. I want you to take a deep breath as always. Take a very deep, innervating, soulful breath to start this podcast off. I want you to imagine the softest white light coming down and embracing your body. Or it can be pink or green or blue. Whatever it is made up of, it is totally filled with love for you. Okay? So now that you have done this, I want you to say, I am here to just be. I am here to remember. I am safe. And now I am ready to continue. I urge you to remember you are an investment. By investing and sharing with you, I invest in myself, and we together give back to humanity. So, what is intuition? Intuition is your inner knowing, the moments when you just know. You don't have to question it or consciously think about it. You don't have to scan scenarios. You don't have to seek further counsel from your friends or family members. You just know. Intuition is something that we all have, but some choose to use it and others choose not to, or choose not to exercise it. I mean, there could be a variety of reasons why someone wouldn't want to use it, and it could include, it being scary. So what is our intuition made of? Within our human body, if you could imagine, our intuition originates from all of our energy points. So the ones that you normally see on an energy point grid, and there are also ones on the side of us and above us and below our feet, like I always say. So if you imagine all of your energy points, the ones that are just yours, they are pulsating at your specific frequency and funneling into your core, so into your abdomen, where your intuition is amplified and pushed back out to your energy points. So your core, like I said, is located on your abdomen, below your diaphragm, and above your belly button. These energy points bring you information, activate information when necessary, and keep you safe when need be. So if you could imagine all of these networks moving back and forth, in and out, and into your core and amplifying at specific times, so that is what your intuition is made of, is these inner workings and these networks, okay? So they continuously exchange and create a continuous exchange of energy to your human self, and like I said, back out to your energy points and back into your core, okay? So can you see that you are a ball of energy and how your energy is a constant flow? And here on the Strip Down to Love podcast video, I want your energy to continuously flow. And not only that, but continuously flow towards your highest potential, towards your highest good, okay? So intuition is your power source. It's all yours and it belongs to no one else. So and obviously it's very special. Where does it come from? So it comes from all that is. You brought it here when you signed a contract before you came here, to help live out your life's purpose here. And obviously, it was not all inclusive, because when you're here, you're also gathering energy, and not energy, well, that too, but information to amplify your frequency, to make it larger than life and beautiful, right? So how do we use it? Well, just to start off, we use our intuition without even consciously knowing. It's like split second decision making, right? We use it when we are concerned about something, making decisions, and partly to make focused decisions, whether it be for survival purposes, living purposes, safety, protection, and or excelling at something, which I love. So how do we keep in touch with our intuition? How do we unlock our intuition? How do we get it set and ready for us to go towards our highest potential? That's the biggest question, right? So by nurturing your energy, if you haven't watched the nurturing energy or nurturing your energy episode, there are many ways and things that you can employ in order to get quick resets for your energy, recharge type of actions, and actions to take to clear your energy. Okay, so because during the time that you are nurturing your energy, getting rid of the static that may be causing discourse within those networks of lines of energies, energy lines that are pulsating in and out from you and being activated. So that is the time that you are nurturing your energy field, is when you're taking actions to nurture your energy. So the energy isn't, and the energy networks are not in discourse. They become very harmonious and will light up and be able to be used very, very quickly. So yeah, if you have time, please take a peek at the episode, and I hope that it'll benefit you. Okay, so it is best if you use your inner intuition, your inner knowing, to get you on your life's purpose. That's why it is important to, so I cannot stress this next section of the podcast video enough. So it is best if you work through your dark side, your unhealed side, your wounded side first, prior to fully exercising your intuition. And like, obviously healing allows your intuition to be great and to become, I want to say, higher. Your frequency, your energy field frequency would be, in general, after you heal a specific part of you, would be higher and would be more attuned. But when you work with your dark side and your unwounded side and acknowledge it and know it, because it can only help you. So because when you are funneling your intuition into this specific fracture, down this cliff, right? Down into this cliff of fracture, whether it be, and I'm talking about like a fracture that maybe you came here with in order to work through, use this lifetime to work through and to heal that. And obviously, it's not going to take one time. It's a fracture that you came here with in order to gather information and to heal that side of you, right? So what I'm trying to say is that I don't want your intuition to be used only to dive down into this fracture. I want you to be able to build upon it. So acknowledging it and knowing that it is fully present and there is a huge start to have your intuition grow and live at a specific frequency. Because when you take your intuition, we are all powerful beings. And I know that the people that are listening to this are powerful beings, because this is what you want to learn. You're here to grow, and you're here to dive into your power, right? But when you use your intuition to just funnel into that fracture, whether it be an abandonment issue, a distrust issue, I'm not sure, like using it for a victim mindset. I don't want to see your power being wasted into and funneling down and falling down into this maybe endless fracture. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want it to be wasted. I want you to be able to build upon it so that your intuition can live at a certain level. You are fully aware of this fracture. So for example, if something makes you uncomfortable and then you want to, press pause on the situation, and you want to look at it, and you want to really dive deep and know what this is, or what the situation is telling you. And a fracture is different from, it's not something that can be healed quickly. It's not just on a surface. Like if you just kind of skid your knee, this is different. Or if somebody takes your parking stall, like maybe you'd be mad for a couple hours or 30 minutes, but a fracture takes a lifetime of work and maintenance. And so so what I'm just trying to say, that I don't want your power and your intuition to be fully wasted on diving deep into this fracture. And I'll give you an example soon here enough. So, and besides working through your, let's say, birth emotion and or exploring it and understanding it, or that specific fracture, your dark side can only better you as a person. And like I said, allow your intuition to grow in a beautiful, beautiful way. Again, so it is most recommended that you work through the things that hinder you from reaching your highest potential, whether it be anxiety or fear, and discovering yourself first. Like I said, I'm going to give you an example. And going inward prior to exercising your spiritual strength. So, for example, acknowledging and gathering information from addictions and emotions, times when you always fall back on specific go-tos, trauma scenarios, having a victim mindset. These are all scenarios of gathering information for your human self, or for your soul to show your human self what you need to work on. So, and these are outwardly expressions of what is going on internally. And when you press pause and take a breath and look and view at how these behaviors have set you on a path towards your highest potential, what do you get? See, and I want to express that pressing pause is the first step. Because, I have a really difficult time at pressing pause, except if it's on this camera. Because I guess, you could say one of my addictions is being a workaholic, and I love to work, and that's how I live and that's how I operate. So, but when you press pause, what have these scenarios that have been showing up in your reality, what are they actually telling you? And the key again is to press pause, is to not continue rolling down this hill and falling into, by default, these specific scenarios that keep showing up in your life. What I want you to do is press pause on the falling, stand up, and look at all of the scenarios that have occurred in your life lately, okay? So, I look at all of these scenarios, and there's a little bit more to this, but it's also about the specific role you play here on earth. And these specific go-tos and all of these scenarios that you see are telling you something about the specific role you play here on earth. And what are you going to do with these items of trauma or addictions? What are you going to do with your fracture? How are you going to use this to better yourself? So you can either live in it and, like I said, continue down this hill of specific scenarios that show up in your life day in and day out, or sprinkle love on it and build upon it. So like I said, you are here to play a specific role in this world. And like I said on the Let's Take a Breath episode, you are the miracle. You are a unique signature and copyright. That's why I posted this video almost at the end of the year, because you were able to watch and hear and listen all of the other specific videos, like the defining anger, anxiety, loneliness. So you're able to gather resources in order to look at specific emotions and work through them and look internally for answers, rather than looking towards other people or things for the answers. You are the miracle, and it's time to go inward and to amplify your intuition. The answers are inside of you, willed by you. So, well, I guess we can all take a deep breath after that. So let's move on to how your intuition can be clouded. So here's a little example of how one's intuition can be clouded or used in an unhealthy way. So prior to this, right, I used my intuition to fuel my fear of being hurt and being abandoned, and I did it continually. And I'm not going to sit here and deny it. So I had a lot of anxiety, as you know, around relationships because of my past. I didn't want to be hurt again, and so what I would do was just shut down or run away or play the violin and just lay there and think that I was being victimized, or that's what I would do. So obviously those behaviors and these scenarios completely got tiring, and I didn't actually know that I was doing it, So until I pressed pause, I removed myself out of the situation and just started working on myself, because I stopped pouring my intuition into a relationship that I already knew wasn't going to work out. So I was using my inner knowing because I already knew that it wasn't going to work out, I was using my inner knowing to continually dive down into this specific fracture that I actually needed to acknowledge. And I didn't know I wasn't acknowledging it until I pressed pause and took myself out of the situation, backed up, and really acknowledged it. So if you look at it, can you see like the backward sense of using your intuition to continually hurt yourself because you're pouring your intuition and your power into this fracture that you need to acknowledge and build upon, so that you can use your intuition in a healthy way to get you further in life, rather than continually replaying these specific lessons and scenarios. So I was pouring my energy out into outward things that were unfulfilling, because being inward and being inside and exploring inside is living and fulfilling. When you're pouring your energy outwardly, I can say from experience that it is not that fulfilling. All right? So okay, so I used to use my intuition when something didn't sit right with me, right? Like most of us do. When I was in the middle of decision making, and most of the time I would make decisions and or run away, like I said before. So which this behavior I thought kept me safe, and at the time it actually did, for a moment of time. But I was hiding from clearing that energy and trauma that was so deep rooted. I did have a difficult time clearing up this specific part of my life. And if you haven't watched the Healing with Communication episode, you can take a peek and learn how to stand up for yourself in a healthy and gentle way to yourself. Because what I had to do, so it was like there was two sides of me. The very fearful and scared side of me that just wanted to like run away and tuck it under a rug and be like, no, this isn't happening. And then there was the other part of me at the time that was ready to move on out of this scenario. So sorry, it's kind of windy. So I just had to stand in my truth. And you can watch the Healing with Communication video and learn how I did that, okay? So decision making happens every day. Clear up your energy so that you can unlock new energies for your life. By clearing up your energy, you can attract new energy. And doesn't that feel, it feels exciting to me. It's always exciting to attract new energy, right? Like energy melds with like energy. So when you heal, your intuition goes up to the next spiritual level and you unlock new energy. So that's what I want for you, is to bring in and call in new energy for yourself, okay? So, and that's a lot of the reason why I express to you that it is best if you work through, acknowledge, and fully acknowledge your dark side first, okay? So fear, anxiety, depression, anger, they aren't feelings that you feel for no reason. They are there for a specific reason. So these feelings are telling you that the universe loves you, even though it may not feel like it at that specific time. The energy that you are feeling and your inner being is trying to tell you to steady your inner knowing. It's just telling you that you are ready to go inward. And before, I didn't know this, and I thought that life was gonna be like this for forever. And at one point, I felt like forever was way too long to live with these feelings. But if you watched the anxiety episode and the loneliness episode and taking a breath episode, you will know that these feelings are not here to hinder you. They are a check-in, and they're there for you to check in with your inner self, okay? So I'm not saying that you put in work one time into depression and it goes away. So with each spiritual upgrade, you may have to revisit depression. You may have to revisit anxiety, because with each spiritual upgrade, there is always that remnants and those roots and that energy that you have to clear up on the next level. Okay? So if you feel as if you have made it to a next spiritual level and these feelings come back, just embrace them. So we are so cultured and engineered and milled to think that having depression and having anxiety is like, there's so much stigma around these specific emotions and more emotions, but I'm just using these two as an example. There's so much stigma around it, and so, I guess none of us want to own it, right? You don't ever want to say, I have this. You always want to push it away, right? So my point is that, yes, because society makes us feel that it is a derogatory feeling and it is a negative term, a lot of us can't own it and won't own it, and ultimately push it away from us. But if we do not acknowledge it, and if we do not work through these specific feelings, they will always come back to us, because they are still here, they are still within us, and they are just telling us to go inward and to unlock specific things, okay? So if you turn it around and look at depression, anxiety, and a lot of other, feelings that have a lot of stigma around it, you will see that in turn, it is just the universe's way of telling you that you are ready to go inward and you are ready to create your beautiful network of energy, and that's flowing towards your highest potential. So yeah, and that's why there's a lot of people, I feel, suffering in the world today, because we're so milled and cultured to push these specific feelings or stuff them down and not share them with people, and ultimately not acknowledge it or share it with ourselves. But I'm here to say that it is okay. It is okay. And just dive deep and go inward, because being inward is a beautiful place. Because inner love translates to outer love. Okay? So now, and I do want to go back to talking about each spiritual upgrade. So, like I started to say before, each tier that you work through, your intuition gets stronger and more powerful, and these networks of energy flow, and maybe you can even create new ones, right? So And that constant funneling in of energy is love and light, and will be able to move so fluidly that things will become natural for you. And these feel-good feelings will become natural, and you'll be able to summon them within a split, just thinking about them. Okay? And so that's what I really want for you. So now I pour my energy into, instead of pouring it into this whole idea of abandonment and being afraid and distrust and all of these things like that, I pour it into things that make me feel good. And and I like to summon energy that makes me feel light and airy. And I want you to plug into the things that make you feel light and airy. Unplug from the things that make you feel less than, and that make you feel like you have to prove yourself in order to feel respected and appreciated, because you are always respected and appreciated with the people that you and the things that you are meant to be around. The things that are meant for you will show up. The things that you deserve will show up. Be extra grateful for life. Be grateful for where you are now and live in the moment. Plug into the moment and amplify love in that specific moment. So now that the Strip Down to Love podcast video has come to an end, feel the softness from your intuition, from your core, and push it out into your energy field and bring it back to you. Feel the lines of energy growing and amplifying and giving you a huge hug. They are becoming stronger. And imagine it finally linked to all that is. I want you to close your eyes and take a very deep breath. You did a lot of work today. Remember, you are love, and I am sending